Hello and welcome back to the Entertainment Vortex. Today we were at Brennan Theaters watching Dr. Sleep. If you're someone that watches a lot of reviews on this channel, why in the world is Nick reviewing a horror movie? Unfortunately, JB is sick, which is very unfortunate because this is a movie that he was extremely excited to see. So in his stead, I went and saw this one, and I'm going to give the review. Now, I will say I was intrigued because while I'm not a huge fan of The Shining, I do appreciate its, significance in the horror genre. And my opinion of The Shining is a whole nother video altogether. With that being said, coming into this, I was very intrigued. I saw the trailers, I saw the concept, and, I wanted to know more. So I was thinking about seeing this one with the group, so I guess it just worked out. And I was pleasantly surprised. Now, this movie is by no means perfect. The biggest glaring issue is that the first hour of the movie could have easily been done in 25 to 30 minutes. It takes a long time to get going. They are establishing things in ways that just drag. But when you get to that midway point, or a little before the midway point, and you start to see the pieces come together, which they basically told you in the trailer, but when you see those pieces come together, I got more intrigued. I'm like, okay, I see where we're going here. This is a neat idea. I like the concept of the villains, and I like the concept of the heroes. This isn't a traditional protagonist-antagonist relationship, but basically those are their roles. I like where they come from, I like the flaws and their strengths, and I liked where this was all going. Now, when it comes to the actual journey, when the battle begins, so to say, I thought it was well done. I enjoyed each of the beats of it. While I did find, in my opinion, some little continuity issues that didn't quite work, I was told I was overly nitpicking it, but those little things always bug me. But they are small things. They didn't take away from the overall enjoyment of the movie. Each major scene and each major battle, I guess you would say, was awesome. And a couple of them even had me throwing my arms up and F yeah, some of them are really good. What this movie does extremely well is make you hate the bad guys. By the time you get to the point where the bad guys are established, you want nothing more than them to get their comeuppance. It is gonna be burning a red hot fire in your soul when you see some of the stuff these guys do as establishing. So with that being said, that makes the journey and the adventure even more impactful. Whenever something would happen on either side, I found myself really involved. Like, I really want to see how this is gonna come out. How is it gonna end? While the very, very end of it, I didn't really care for how they kind of concluded it. I did enjoy a majority of that once they established everything. The acting was good. They picked great people. Rebecca Ferguson did an amazing job as the Hat. I didn't really know a lot of the names of the side actors that were in her little group. I recognized them, but I didn't know their names. They're probably in a lot of movies, but every one of them did an amazing job. They did a good job of this group that's... I'll let you discover about the group for yourself. When it comes to Ewan McGregor, you know what I'm going to say. He's amazing. He's a great actor. They give him some stuff his character is dealing with at the beginning of this movie, and I really think he nailed it. We just made a short film about something similar that's going to be coming out somewhat soon. I dove into the world of exploring kind of the way that people deal with these issues and stuff like that. And because I just did so much research on that topic, it was nice to see that they really nailed it. Like, the way they portrayed them, the way they portrayed them dealing with it, the way they portrayed the people around them, I was really impressed by it. That's great stuff. If you're going to have that subplot in there, if you're going to have that idea in there, it's important that you flesh it out and you handle it correctly. And they did. And you'll know exactly what I'm talking about when you see the movie and see his character established. In this movie, you are going to see young versions right at the beginning of the movie of the original characters. So, young Danny, the mom, stuff like that, as they reestablish story. I have to say, I don't think either one of them really look like the original characters. I guess they just found what they can find, but I don't think any of the stand-ins really looked that much like them, aside from they did their hair the same way or whatever. I think they probably could have did a better job finding someone that looked like them. But it didn't really take away. At the beginning, you're kind of going, it's not really right, but once they're past it, they're past it. The only other issue I had with this movie was some of the sound choices. The music was good, and the ambiance was good, except for one thing. Sadly, they used that one thing in 60% of the movie. I don't know what it was with the guy that did the sound for this movie, but he loves the sound of a heartbeat. And he used it over and over and over again. And I understand he was trying to use it to remind a theme, like you would have someone's theme come back whenever they're on screen, but he overused it. Way overused it. To the point where all I could think was, stop the stupid heart beating. It's freaking annoying. It's not making me tense. It's not making me anxious, it's making me annoyed. Get it out of there. Overall, aside from the sound issues and the pacing issues, I really thought this was well written. I don't know how close it is to the book. I know they had to change some things because the first movie was different than the book. I did enjoy what happened in it, characters progression, things like that. Aside from me. I'm gonna give this movie an 8 out of 10. I think that's the highest score I've ever given a horror movie, because I am not a horror movie fan. But this one, I didn't really think it was scary, so if you're looking for something scary, this really isn't your movie. At least I didn't. The guy in front of me almost lost his entire drink at one point when he flipped out. But I didn't really find it to be that scary. It wasn't that kind of movie. I almost felt like it was a spooky action movie at points, and I enjoyed that. I kind of enjoyed the ride. So if you were at all intrigued, or if you loved The Shining and want to see what happened to those characters, this is definitely the movie for you. If you haven't already, don't forget to subscribe to this channel. We give you multiple videos every single week. And we have t-shirts available if you're interested in those as well. Those are available down in the description below. We hope you'll follow us into the Vortex. We'll see you next time.